Blakezilla has lost another dragon.
Brian Friedman is coming for all of them in the depositions. Now, why might Khaleesi and her dragons want to delay the discovery process?
Blake Lively is spiraling, and this latest twist might be the final nail in the coffin. Word is, her own lawyer just walked away mid-case after Justin Baldoni's team dropped receipts so damning, Blake was left blindsided. Sources say the second her lawyer saw what was coming, she dipped. No press, no goodbye, just gone. Allegedly, the evidence is that bad. So bad her lawyer didn't want her name anywhere near it. But that's not even the wildest part. Behind the scenes, insiders claim life working for Blake was a total nightmare. Tantrums, power plays, and threats that pushed her inner circle to the edge. People aren't just quitting, they're escaping. And now, with Justin's team ready to expose everything, Blake's carefully crafted image might be about to crash and burn. Let's get into exactly what she's trying to hide, because this story, it's only getting messier. So when Blake first hit Justin Baldoni with that SH lawsuit and had big outlets like the New York Times basically co-signing her every word, you know she thought she already had this case in the bag. Her lawyer, Meryl Koenig-Gavronsky, probably thought the same. I mean, representing a Hollywood A-lister in a high-profile case? Career goals, right? Wrong. Because guess what? Justin's team came through with receipts, and when I say receipts, I mean a whole binder of evidence debunking every single claim Blake made. Suddenly, the media flipped, and public opinion turned from poor Blake to, wait, maybe Justin's the victim here? But y'all, it gets worse. Behind the scenes, it sounds like an absolute nightmare. Imagine thinking this case is gonna put your law career on the map, only to realize your client is a hot mess. Sources are spilling that as Meryl dug deeper, Blake's story kept falling apart, things didn't add up, timelines were sketchy, and when Meryl asked for clarification, Blake got defensive. And let's not forget about Ryan Reynolds, who allegedly swooped in whenever Blake felt attacked, probably trying to use his power to keep things hush-hush. And get this, when Meryl tried to actually do her job and hold Blake accountable for the inconsistencies, Blake allegedly insulted her skills, threatened not to pay her, and basically threw a whole tantrum. Like, girl, you're trying to win a legal case, not audition for Gossip Girl Season 7. Eventually, Meryl had enough. The holes in Blake's case were so massive you could drive a semi-truck through them. And the way Blake was treating her, no paycheck is worth that kind of drama. So she did what any sane person would do. She quit, and honestly, I don't blame her. Now, for years, people have tried to brush off Blake's behavior. Anytime a clip popped up of her throwing shade or acting superior, her PR team would swoop in faster than you can say Upper East Side, with excuses like, she's just sarcastic, she has a quirky sense of humor. But here's the thing, you can only use those excuses so many times before people start seeing the pattern. And let me tell you, Blake's pattern is giving mean girl energy on a platinum platter. Remember when she randomly shaded Anna Kendrick during their A Simple Favor press tour? Sis couldn't let Anna finish a single sentence without making a snide comment or rolling her eyes. The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a designer stiletto. Or what about when Penn Badgley, her actual ex-boyfriend, hinted that their breakup was less about growing apart and more about how toxic things got behind the scenes, not to mention how she allegedly iced out Leighton Meester during their Gossip Girl days because she couldn't stand sharing the spotlight. And don't even get me started on the whispers from the It Ends With Us set. Word on the street is that Blake was constantly undermining Justin Baldoni and trying to flex her star power to rewrite scenes. When he pushed back, what did she do? Play the victim. Classic. The crazy part? Blake's been so good at playing the America's Sweetheart card that people gave her a pass for years. But now, the facade is cracking and the truth is uglier than her Met Gala after party fits. At some point, you've got to stop blaming everyone else and look in the mirror. And from what we're seeing, Blake's reflection is giving villain an origin story.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
Oh, and the audacity, because honestly, Blake Lively is out here showing her true colors. And it is not a cute look. Picture this. Blake gets asked a serious, heartfelt question about how she'd want fans to approach her if they've experienced SA or DV. Something deeply personal that connects with the story, and it ends with us. A moment to show compassion, right? A chance to express empathy and create a safe space for survivors to feel seen and heard. But what does Blake do? She hits them with a sarcastic joke about location sharing. Yes, you heard that right. Instead of taking the question seriously, homegirl turns it into a punchline. Like, what? Imagine being a survivor, feeling vulnerable, and wanting to connect with someone who starred in a movie about trauma, only to have that person roll their eyes and joke about tracking your location. The lack of awareness is wild. It's giving, I don't actually care, but let me throw in some dry humor to seem relatable. And it wasn't just a passing comment either. People in the comments were livid, calling her out for being dismissive and tone deaf. One person wrote, "Blake acting like she's above these conversations is disgusting. This isn't the quirky personality trait she thinks it is." And honestly, they're not wrong. For someone who has built her career playing relatable characters, this moment made it crystal clear that Blake has zero interest in being a safe space for anyone. It's like she can't help but make everything about herself, even when the moment is begging for empathy. Blake really thought she was giving too cool for the room energy, but all she did was show that she's out of touch. At this point, the mean girl allegations aren't even allegations anymore, they're just facts. But then again, what do you expect from someone who openly called her co-stars monkeys and made fun of Leighton Meester for being born in prison? Yes, you heard that right. During the press tour for Gossip Girl, Blake blatantly talked about Leighton's background, making her the punchline of her poorly delivered jokes.
I know Pet Monkey. But Chuck has a matching Pet Monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. I'm just kidding. Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
It's not like the whole being born in prison thing was a secret. Leighton herself had talked about it multiple times in the past. However, it still didn't make sense that Blake felt it was her right to make those types of jokes, but come to find out, Blake had been mean to Leighton the whole time they were on set. According to reports, there was serious tension between both actresses on set. It was so bad that other cast members felt pressured to pick a side. Blake and Leighton were best friends on screen, but that friendship didn't reflect anywhere in their personal lives. Some said it was due to personality differences. Blake was more outgoing, while Leighton was more of an introvert. However, from watching their interviews together during the press run, you can easily tell it was so much more than personality clashes. Blake's mean girl behavior also manifested itself in the production and press tour of It Ends With Us. She would allegedly try to force other cast members to side with her whenever she had issues with anyone on set, and was always trying to control the movie's creative process. Allegedly, Blake wanted Justin's director's chair for herself, and she would guilt trip and bully him into letting her make adjustments to the script, sometimes without his knowledge. But that's not all. When Blake finally brought her explosive lawsuit against Justin, there were immediately red flags in her complaints. One of the biggest red flags was that it appeared as though Blake was bribing the media to publish stories, painting Justin as the villain and accusing him of running a smear campaign against her. Now, the New York Times article dropped literally hours after Blake filed her lawsuit. The piece, titled "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine," came out less than 24 hours after the lawsuit hit the courts, and people are side-eyeing hard. Like, how did the Times manage to read the full lawsuit, fact check it, interview sources, and publish a deep dive expose all in one day? Unless Blake had been feeding them info before the lawsuit was even filed. And if that wasn't shady enough, the article painted Justin as guilty before the case had even started. No quotes from Justin, no input from his team, and zero balance. It was giving, let's destroy Justin's career before he can even defend himself. Naturally, Justin didn't take that lying down. He clapped back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times. And let me tell you, Justin's receipts, delicious. He dropped unedited texts proving Blake twisted conversations to fit her narrative, behind the scenes footage that completely contradicted her claims. And get this, HR complaints Blake used in her lawsuit, they had dates and timestamps redacted. Sis, what were you hiding? But wait, it gets juicier. Blake's legal team is now desperate to settle behind closed doors. I mean, can you blame them? After getting exposed, they're trying to sweep this whole thing under the rug before it goes to trial. But Justin said nope. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, went on the Town podcast and said Justin isn't interested in a quiet settlement. This isn't about money, it's about clearing his name. Friedman made it clear that the accusations have done irreparable damage to Justin's reputation, his finances, and even his family's mental health. And y'all, the plot twist of the century? Ryan Reynolds is trying to remove himself from the lawsuit. That's right, and Mr. I Stand By My Wife is suddenly saying, "This ain't my fight." At this point, it looks like Blake's entire team is jumping ship and Justin is gearing up for the fight of his life. Will he get the justice he deserves, or will Blake manage to spin the narrative one last time? But do you think Blake will get another lawyer to take up her case? Or do you think this is the end of the road in her legal battle against Justin? Let us know in the comments. Till next time, bye.